Hey, how you doing, guys? It's Nick Bibbee, and I do not have Jamie with me today, but I do have today a special guest. I want to introduce Mr. Todd. Todd is a monster truck driver. He drives the Equalizer. Todd, how long have you been doing this?
This is my 6th year driving monster trucks all over the country.
And how old are you?
I am 39. I'll be 40 here in a few weeks.
When did you first start getting monster truck? Was it whenever you were in your 30s?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I came into monster truck driving kind of late in life. I was a motorsports announcer first. So at age 16, I was announcing all over the Northeast, dirt modified, sprint cars, that kind of thing. And then I went to announcing some NASCAR stuff. Monster Jam called and said, hey, we'd like for you to announce. So I started announcing for them, got a shot to drive, and now I've been driving for 6 years.
How does one even begin? I mean, you can say like, all right, yeah, you see all these families, they start out their own trucks, you know, but you came in from the kind of the outside, you started announcing and then kind of promoted from within in a way.
Right.
How does one like, hey, yeah, we need a driver, let's take this announcer into a truck?
Well, I just didn't give up. I had all kind of people tell me no. I was told no a lot. I'm still, I want to try new things every day, and I'm told no. But you got to keep trying. You got to keep pushing. If you want something, don't take no for an answer, and you have to keep going and getting it. Now, if someone specifically wants to be a monster truck driver, the best way to do it is go to a local show and tell a team that you'll help them out for free and just learn the ropes. You keep doing that. You keep doing that. You start to move trucks around a little bit when trucks get unloaded, those kind of things. And then if you're the right place, the right time, and they need a driver, you can get the phone call.
Have you always wanted to be a monster truck driver?
No, I actually wanted to be a NASCAR driver.
Okay.
But I mean, that's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different scale. Still motorsports, still high horsepower, but this is a little bit different. It's not natural to head towards a pile of cars and jump them. I mean, it's just not. I've done a little bit of circle track racing. I like going, I like going in circles.
Yeah.
Some super late model stuff, things like that. But it was weird the first time I hit a car.
I can only imagine. I mean, I remember, like, me as a kid, you're running over cars with little toy monster trucks.
Yeah, right.
You're doing a kid's dream right now. You see, you got an RC car flopping around, you land on the wheels, all the kids freak out, you land on the wheels.
Right.
And you're actually in this thing that's flipping, tossing, turning, and everything, and everybody's flipping out. Somebody's in there.
It's a big RC car is what it is.
Exactly.
Instead of your controller, you have it in your hands and your rear steer and both of your feet going.
I see some of the hits you guys make when you guys land on the ground. How is your back?
My back is okay. You have to stay in somewhat shape. I mean, you can't, just let yourself go. But this business actually keeps you in shape. There's a few larger drivers. I'm not going to mince words there.
Yeah.
But most of the drivers are in pretty good shape because you're rolling around 800-pound tires. You're tiring up trucks. You're working on them. You're changing transmissions and motors and things like that. And there is a little bit of an off season. So if you eat right and try and take care of yourself, your body will take care of you if you take care of it.
Okay, I got you. And you were bringing up tires, and I've heard that tires can run about $2,500 a piece.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct.
And you guys pop them like every other show, if not every show.
Well,
you got to patch them up.
We do, and that's an interesting process actually. So you'll buy like a semi truck, you'll buy the biggest patch kit they have, and then you'll take that tire apart, pull the bead lock off, dismount the tire. You actually get inside the tire. I was in Toronto and blew a tire, and I was inside of it for hours fixing it. You grind it, and there's some material that you lather onto it, and then you'll roll a patch on there and put the whole thing back together and hope it holds.
So instead of buying another $2,500 tire, you're spending like probably still a couple $100 for these patches.
Yeah,
These are heavy-duty patches.
Yeah, patches, the labor, you're a couple $100 repair.
And how long have you been driving for the Equalizer?
Okay, so weird thing. This is the first time I'm going to drive this truck.
Really?
I've been
tonight right here in Alexandria,
Tonight right
Louisiana.
here, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I've been in Bounty Hunter, Iron Outlaw. I've driven the Wicked monster truck for Craig Christensen for primarily here for the last year. I've driven 7 or 8 different trucks.
Do they all have the same kind of feel? More so?
Well, they're all 10,000 pounds. They're all 1,500 horsepower, but all the setups are different. You'll have some trucks that land really nice. You'll have some that are a little bit harder landing. If you have a truck with a front locker, with a locking front end, you have to drive that truck completely different than an open front end. So you're driving that truck harder to get the thing to turn because it locks and binds itself. With an open front end, you can just wheel that thing around without a problem. So depending on the mechanics of the truck and how it feels, after that first hit exactly what you've got.
Okay, I'm only going to guess and kind of figure out what you're trying to say.
Okay.
But I don't know anything mechanical wise.
Okay.
So
yeah, I had to learn too, and I'm still learning every day. I mean, there's guys that have been in this business 25, 26, 30 years. 6 years, I'm a baby in this sport. But you take all you can get from these guys, their knowledge, and anything they want to tell you about, you're all ears.
You were talking about you announced for Monster Jam.
I did.
That's how you got into
I
that.
did. Not just Monster Jam,
Well,
a lot of different monster truck tours.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The Monster Jam is probably the most notable one.
Probably, yeah.
Are you trying to go into progressive there? Are you happy where you're at? And you're trying to grow in this industry, in this company?
It's interesting. I'll drive, I'll fill in for anybody, anything like that. That's all good. But I do know that as I get older, I'll be 40 this month. So what I'm kind of looking at is, I look at my next 5, 6, 7 years, and I don't want to be almost 50 and continue to beat on myself. So what I'd like to do is take what I've done in motorsports and then turn that into an analyst position on the announcing side again. So I have some aspirations for some radio and some TV. Don't know if I'll get there, but I don't take no for an answer, so we're trying.
So you're saying you're always having a goal. No
Sure,
matter what,
absolutely.
always have a goal.
Absolutely.
Baby steps, you can always get there.
That's right.
Now, have you ever, you're trying to get into monster trucks, and you're trying to get into NASCAR, people told you, just avoid that. It's a nonsense dream. Why are you even going after
Yeah,
that?
I've heard that a lot. Go get a real job. I hear that all the time.
And how do you keep pushing past that to stay after your goal?
You gotta want it. If it's not 100% in here and you have any doubt, then it's not for you. But it doesn't matter what it is. It could be NASCAR, it could be monster trucks. It could be you want to be a chef. It could be I want to own my own roofing company. I don't care what it is. Whatever you want to do, whatever your passion is, there's 15 different ways to get into something. It's not cut and dry. Let's take the monster truck industry. It's not cut and dry how you get into it. I see people come from motocross backgrounds, BMX backgrounds, riding four-wheelers, myself as an announcer. There's so many ways. If you could just place yourself in the industry in some way, then you can find that path and that ladder to make it up, make it to the top. And I'm not to the top yet, certainly. There's guys out there that would, wipe the floor with me because they're so good and they do it 40 times a year. But as time goes on, I work on my skill set. I find out what works. I find out what doesn't. We don't get to test these trucks. You go out and that's it. So.
And that's one of the things that I was brought up before, and I was going around before I started doing these interviews. I was asking, what's something you would want to ask a monster truck driver? And one thing that I got is, how do you start? You've already answered that to me before. You go up and try to talk to people. It's like a summer camp. Like there is no, hey, let's go to a test drive, get in the passenger seat. I'm gonna show you how to do it. No, it's you get thrown in there. It's, I don't see no two seats in there.
There's one thing you could do if you go to a technical school and you learn about let's say like a UNOH or a UTI. Those companies that will teach you basic mechanics. Coming in with that is better than not. I struggle with that still today. Something will go wrong in a truck and I won't automatically know what it is. So I'll lean on the guy that's been doing it for 20 years and say, this is what I felt, what's wrong, what's broken, but then I stay and help, and you gotta watch that. Last night, you guys don't even know this happened. Last night I was in red Solo truck, the other truck that's here, blew a motor. So we didn't go to bed till 5:30 this morning. We're on 3 hours sleep. The night before we're on 2 hours sleep. So we're 5 hours sleep in 3 days.
So that truck is, in a way, like y'all's child. Y'all have to take care of it.
Oh, sure.
If anything happens, y'all work as a team, really work together. How many people do you have in the Equalizer team?
So the Equalizer team is 5 guys. It's 5 of us, and this is a team where I'm kind of in a fill-in role right now. The team owner had to fly home, so I'm kind of, I've never worked a full weekend with these guys. I've seen them at other shows. I've ran with them. I was on another team, ran with these guys. So the industry is kind of like a family.
Okay.
It's one big family. Everybody has everybody's phone numbers. Hey, can you drive? Can you drive? Can you help me out? Can you drive my rig across the country? There's a pool to pull from.
And last but not least, I do want to ask, if somebody wants to go up into this job, into your career that you have, you see a lot of people that are in careers and they're like, listen, it sounds great, grass is green on the other side, you get into this, it's not worth it. What would you say to somebody that does want to get into where you're at?
There are very hard times. There are times when you're sitting there going, man, look what I got myself into. How did this? You'll have situations go wrong. I destroyed a truck last year, and I didn't think I did anything wrong. But you go back to the video and you look at some things, and you're like, man, I really screwed up. Well, you've got those other people on your team going, oh, we got to fix your mistake. Yeah. You feel awful. But then there's those times when you hit a jump just right, or you nail the backflip, and there's hero and zero times. You know, it's what's weird is I liken it to a marriage. You put in so much work on a relationship. You put in so much work to accomplish the goal of having a happy life. Well, sometimes you work a long time and nothing goes right. But then, you know, as a family, you achieve something, or you have a baby, or whatever happens that, okay, this is great. All this work added up to this. It's just another kind of life.
So it's just a mixture of teamwork and passion to help keep you going.
It's that hard.
Well, Mr. Todd, I hear all the trucks starting up out there. I don't want to cause you to be late. You know, you got a truck to go race tonight.
Appreciate
I want to wish you luck, and thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming on by.
Yeah, it was great being here.
Thank you guys for coming in, and I want to thank Todd very much again for coming in and giving the chance to talk to us. Bye.